Yes, sir. Thank you for the allocation of time, enabling me to participate in this debate on the governor's address. Like the mover of the amendment motion has rightly indicated few areas of concern confronting the state and the people as a whole. In matter of issues of safety and security of the people at large, and at the same time, the contentious issues before us which require collective and committed address to see that these concerns are taken care of in the right perspective. The issues of concern pertaining to this contentious issue of influx and illegal immigration has been there for a long, long time, ever since we have our own state. And these concerns are based on ground realities that we see at the ground zero. And this issue remains as one of the issues drawing the attention of the government. I think it is therefore very important for us to look back at the collective endeavors that we have put together as members of this August House. We fully understand the concerns of our people pertaining to the issue of influx and illegal immigration. It is precisely because of one fact that our people are concerned about the demography of the state, and we are on board in as far as this issue is concerned, across party lines. That's the reason why this August House have seen collective and unanimous decisions which were arrived at by the members of the August House in the successive houses of this assembly in the preceding years. I would like to remind the government of one outcome of this collective endeavor of all the political parties, which was an offshoot of exhaustive, long-drawn engagement with all the stakeholders of the state in order to address the issue of influx and illegal immigration. The Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act 2016, which was a culmination of the collective endeavor of all the stakeholders to come to a kind of formula which can be considered as effective to deal with these concerns, and which was dwelt upon with exhaustive engagement with all the stakeholders, and we remember the August House unanimously adopting that act. Now, here, if this particular mandate of this August House can be effectively implemented in letter and spirit, to a great extent these concerns pertaining to issues of influx and illegal immigration can be taken care of. The instances when we had certain amount of uncertainty pertaining to the power which were required to be mandated by enactment of law to the traditional heads were also addressed by this particular enactment of law. I remember we had a problem when the authority of the local authorities, the traditional institutions, were at one point of time questioned by the judiciary itself in absence of any mandate by law. Therefore, it was incumbent upon all concerned to really find ways and means and have a kind of legislation which gives mandate and recognition and empower our traditional institutions, which withstood the test of time and which has been an integral part of our customary law and customary practices. So this law provides this whole mandate. Therefore, this piece of mandate is one which must be looked at in all totality as to how this act can be implemented, and through this, to a great extent, the concerns of influx and illegal immigration can be addressed. I appreciate that the government, prior to election in 2022, in the month of September, decided at least to ensure that this piece of legislative mandate of this August House is put in real practice, operationalize the mandate of the law. I would like to urge upon the government to ensure that all necessary support which becomes integral part for the implementation of this program is incorporated in the budget. Because while we want to implement this program, I think all the various components and various stakeholders who are integrated in the whole process of implementation of this law will definitely require support. I believe and I have full confidence that the government, having taken cognizance of the importance of this legislative mandate, will do all that is necessary to operationalize this law and address the concern of influx and illegal immigration until the time when the overall common demand for ILP is given fruition by Government of India. We must remember one thing, that this piece of legislation was based on the fact that in addition to waiting for any such time, the Services Social Audit Act. We rolled out this whole program in 2017, and the whole national media captured this initiative of this August House and the government and applauded the state of Meghalaya. Amplify this, integrate with all other laws. I appreciate the government of the day that, okay, Meghalaya Services Delivery Act was further enacted. How to amalgamate them and then synergize them to see that, okay, they themselves become a deterrence. And therefore, you create a perception that, yes, the leaders we have elected are living up to our expectations. And there is a perception that we need to generate in the midst of all doubts and suspicion. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to draw the attention of the government that the role of the opposition and all the members of this August House will always be there to draw the attention of the government whenever there is a perceived deficiencies, whenever there is perceived alleged irregularities in the process of implementation of any program for the larger interest of our people. And that is precisely the reason why we are here. Therefore, at any point of time, the responsibility that revolves around us will always be there to also draw the attention of the government. Opposition must not be perceived as opposition which is criticizing only for the sake of criticizing. Opposition will have to always be there as a partner in the government, reminded the government, look, this is where the perceived deficiency is being created. This is where the whole narrative is generating, which ultimately funneled into kind of suspicion and doubt on our integrity and our commitment. Therefore, I think I would like to urge upon the government that take cognizance of any concerns. Let us be at least receptive to any concern being expressed and analyze them rather than promptly jumping into a denial. So that is what I expect from government. The transparency and the overall endeavor of the government to create that sense of transparency amongst the populace is what is needed under the prevailing circumstances, under the prevailing situation where doubts and suspicions are doing the rounds. We also must take cognizance of what the Honorable High Court is doing. What are those other reports that are hitting the news headlines, which are indicative of certain areas of irregularities and deficiencies? Should we not take cognizance of them? Should we not alert the government? Yes, we must be always assertive, vigilant, and that is what.
And the opportunity to address in this August House on the Governor's address. I would like to take only a few sectors, which is very important as for my constituency and for the district of West Kashil. Regarding the agriculture, I have seen that they have given the turmeric mission, then other mission as well. But one of the main cash crop that for Nongstoin and West Kashil that they have taken is a squash. This is one of the major economic income of the people of the West Kashmir and the Eastern West. So I would like to urge the government to do a positive step on a squash mission regarding agriculture in the district of West Kashmir and Nongstoin in particular. And in power sector, there is one village by the name of Domsao, and there are a few more villages which under Sobhagya scheme, the meter had been installed but without the infra, that means the line and the substation. So I would like to take a note and give a commitment and assurance from the government that this village should be taken care of with immediate effect, since the meter has already installed in a different house, in all the houses in that village. But for the last 2-3 years now, it is only remained with the meter. And regarding the power and rural community, since the time of the bifurcations of the two districts, the Eastern West and the West Kashmir, there are 48 villages which falls under Mautarishan CNRD blocks. After the bifurcations, these 48 villages which they have instructed to divert to Nongstoin CNRD block. But till today, nothing has been done with the government and taking initiative. So these villages, 48 villages, for the last 2 years, they have missed out and deprived of many of MNGRGA. So I urge the government to take initiative step regarding this 48 village so that they could come early to the Nongstoin and they were not deprived of any schemes or any, especially the MNGRGA. Regarding the educations, I have seen they have given so much of other, but they have failed to mention the Nongstoin Polytechnic, which has been constructed, which is under construction. So I haven't seen in the address of the government that the Nongstoin Polytechnic is there. Regarding the prison, we have the Nongstoin District Jail, which under construction, until I have seen in these days that the construction had been stopped. So I wish the government to take initiative step and give an assurance for completions at the earliest. The public health engineer, the Nongstoin Urban Water Supply Scheme, which has been started since 2013, until today, it has not been completed. So I urge the government to take necessary steps and to speed up the work so that the people of Nongstoin doesn't suffer. And mining and geology. The West Kashmir district is full of mineral resources. And we have seen, due to NGT ban, the people of Nongstoin and the West Kashmir have suffered a lot in the last few years. So the government have taken so many steps regarding this. But I have seen in the reports, they have given at least 4 have obtained approval from Ministry for geological reports for preparation of mining plan. It is expected that mining lease will be granted soon. This mining lease the goal will ensure that the economic income of the people of Nongstoin will not suffer. West Kashmir is a small area and mineral sources, since it has shared a long boundary with the Garo Hills and very close to Balpakram National Park. Till date, there is no demarcation of an ecological sensitive zone. Hence, any land which are located within 10 kilometers from the edge of Balpakram National Park will become useless for mining. The standard operation procedure of a coal mining says that a minimum of 1 square kilometer is required for scientific coal mining in Meghalaya. Whereas those people who are the landowner which fall under 10 kilometer buffer zone near the Balpakram National Park will not be able to do coal mining in spite of the fact that they have 1 square kilometer area as prescribed in the SOP. My question is here, sir. In Janja Hills, which is also the similar kind of situation, Narpu Reserve Forest, the government had encouraged for legal mining and also uplift the economic situation of those residents in those areas. A 1.5 from the edge of Narpu Reserve Forest